About 9 p.m., a group of citizens from the Cherry Tree Lane community of Four Park, Clarendon, were assembled at a car wash playing bingo when a group of men approached and opened fire, killing 8 persons, including an 8-year-old boy and 3 females. 9 persons, including a 1-year and 9-month-old baby, were shot and injured and are at the hospital. It is an unfortunate and brutal incident, one that I think borders on terrorism, because I think this act is to instill fear and to intimidate the community. The police is committed to ensure that justice is done, and we are using all our resources to ensure that the perpetrators are found and face justice.
Be assured that we are examining all dimensions of this terror act. We know that persons overseas are involved and connected in this act. We know that persons who are incarcerated presently have connections in this act. We know that multiple gangs are connected and involved in this act. Every gang, every person who in any way facilitated, provided the arms, or were involved and pulled the trigger themselves, we will find you and we will bring you to justice. I want that to be absolutely clear. We will not treat this as another criminal act. We will treat this as an act of terror.
We have done a lot of work around that investigation so far. Today, the Prime Minister and the Minister of National Security visited the scene to get an appreciation of what transpired. We are following a lot of investigative and operational leads, and as we have indicated before, the security forces will ensure that justice is done and that closure is brought to these acts that were committed by the vicious criminal. We have engaged victim support and the chaplaincy unit to provide that psychological support for the victims of the crime. And the police will continue to work with the community, and we are appealing to anyone with information to call 311, 811, 119, or any other police numbers that you have access to.
It's difficult to believe that we're standing at a crime scene. When you look around, it's like any community in Jamaica. This could have been anywhere. A few meters from where I'm standing, a car drove up. The men alighted from the car. One high-powered automatic weapon, which has been certified to be an M16, obviously by virtue of the recovered spent shells, and handguns were used. There may be the view that this was a drive-by. So I want to dispel that from the public consciousness. The men, by the reports we have received, alighted from the car, walked a few meters to this establishment, and they pursued individuals and killed, including an 8-year-old youngster who was just killed right behind that car there. They then went back in the vehicle, went further down into the community, came out of their vehicle again, pursued individuals, and one person was killed. So I want it to be understood that this is not what you would describe as a regular criminal act of a drive-by, and even that should never be described in that way. But this is an act calculated to deliver the highest level of terror. And that is what made me today convene the National Security Council to discuss a criminal act that would not necessarily attract the attention of the National Security Council. But the nature of what was done, and of course what we know about the connections that are involved in this, would make me, as the chairman of the National Security Council and Minister Chang as Minister of National Security, take a very deep look at this problem of organized armed violence and the role that gangs play in the organization, the arming, and producing violence affecting innocent people. Share whatever information you have. You may think it's an piece of information that doesn't make sense. Share it still. We want to know, to piece together everything. It is in your interest to keep your community safe, which is why we have to take a different level, a higher level approach to this, to send a message to the criminal underworld that you will not win, you will never win, and no matter how long it takes, we are going to find you and bring you to justice.